Greetings everyone, this is First Centurion 753 with the next episode of Geopolitical Simulator 4, Power and Revolution, Return to the Golden Age of Greece. In the last episode we were talking a little bit about possible intervention in Middle Eastern conflicts, but over the course of the week I actually noticed something about Syria which I did not notice before. If you notice this flag right here, that is an Israeli flag, and that means that Syria is actually a colony, a dependency of Israel. And I did not realize that. I missed that, and I guess everyone else watching the channel missed that. In that Israeli-Syrian war, we saw Israel conquer Syria, but I didn't see what the reactions were. There was no like treaty updated or anything. There might have been something in the newspaper, and I could probably go back and look in the newspaper. I'm not sure if it goes back that far. It only goes back a couple months. But apparently Syria is a colony of Israel, which changes the geopolitical dynamics of this theater dramatically. So could we intervene if Syria attacks Turkey? That's the other option. We have 1,000 troops there on the border, 2 Syrian tanks there, and then I think there's some other units along right there, 8,000 troops right there, and then there's 6 tanks right there, which is actually more on the almost more on the towards the Iraqi border. So the question is, can we intervene if the Syrians end up going to war with the Turks? So let's take a look at real quick diplomacy. Turkey is allied with NATO, so they are part of NATO, and they are not one of our main allied countries, but again, we do still have an alliance with them because of their situation, their alignment in NATO. Take a look at these are all the NATO countries, and we're allied with all of them. And there's Turkey. Also, interesting with Turkey, we do have rights of passage through their waters and their airspace. So that's actually important, and we're going to use that right of passage to deploy some ships. As far as Israel is concerned, Israel is not a part of NATO, and Israel actually does not have too many alliances. They only have the alliance with Syria. They don't even have an alliance with the United States in this game. So, will the United States intervene on part of Turkey or Israel if this conflict engages? And can Syria actually start a war without Israel is another question that would be interesting. But you still have so the intervention in Syria might be a little more difficult than I thought. There's also Lebanon. Lebanon, we found out, has some dirt on them. We've got some files. We've found out that they were caught financing terrorist groups. We have proof. Russia has also been caught supplying weapons. We have proof of that, and we have proof that Kosovo also supplied weapons. Now, I was suggesting on the channel that an invasion through Albania, which we don't have military access right now, but an invasion through Albania and Kosovo may be difficult because a lot of NATO countries might be allied with Kosovo and in favor of Kosovo. So I'm not going to necessarily move towards Kosovo yet. We did get some informants in the Macedonian government here, so we're going to still continue to play for that. Robert White suggests that we meet with Cyprus and try to establish a base there, and if we can't, go ahead and conquer Cyprus. Britain does have an airbase here, so I think I'd rather prefer a peaceful solution with Cyprus. I'm going to go ahead and make a meeting request with them, see if I can't set up a base there, and if not, we'll see what type of options we have as far as invasion of Cyprus. But Lebanon still has that situation. And if you look at Israel, actually, if you go into diplomacy and we go into Israel, Israel does have some hostilities with, I went the wrong way, with, if you go to conflicts, Yeah, these are our conflicts right now. We have hostilities with Macedonia, Turkey, as well as the conflict with the Libyan Democratic Forces. If we go into Israel, Israel has hostilities with Lebanon. So, the situation has gotten a little bit more complicated. They may or may not have information against the Lebanese, and if we do get a UN resolution, Israel may join and move quickly against Lebanon, capturing the capital of Beirut. If you look at Lebanon, it's got 4 air bases and I think 4 naval bases, which probably indicates it has a pretty big navy. I don't know. Let's see, actually, if I can go into Lebanon. As far as the army, we have an army that's over twice the size of theirs. Their population is actually pretty close to ours, but their economy is pretty weak. They're a conservative rightist country, which means they wouldn't be ideologically aligned with us. And they're facing deflation, high unemployment. So we could move against Lebanon. I have an airbase here, which I think is in range to hit Lebanese targets, and I'm going to go ahead and deploy my cruisers. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and deploy our cruisers into Turkish waters because they allow us to deploy ships there. And I'm also going to deploy my submarines probably on the east coast of Cyprus, which they could move against, I think, the naval bases from there. It's going to be difficult with not having access to Syria. If anything, if Cyprus can give us access to their waters, that would give us a lot more access as far as engagement in Lebanon. And right here, these are Lebanese waters. We're going to basically be violating them anyways to go and invade Lebanon. If we decide to go and invade Lebanon, that's an if. I'm not sure if I'm getting involved with that yet, but we're in position to do so. And I think I may also look to construct a military base, a new air base. Let's see, air base in Greece. This would cost us $377 million a year for the next 5 years. And I think I can position it. I can't position it most places in the island, but in the northern part of the island, I think I can position it right there. And that would give us another launch point to strike not only Lebanon, but also Syrian targets if we end up in a Syrian war, or a Cyprus war, if we can't get an airbase here in Cyprus. So I think that's a pretty good option. Also, this would be sort of a little aggressive towards Turkey as well. It would put us in range of hitting several Turkish targets. That's an American base, but you have 4 Turkish air bases. There's a 5th in the area. You also have a number of army bases, so that might be good in our containment, or our I guess Cold War that we have going on with Turkey, if you want to even call it that. We could also move towards more integration with Turkey and try to be aligned with them a little bit more, extend a rail line through Greek Macedonia here all the way to Istanbul. That's a possibility. Work in cooperation with them to connect and establish greater trade. That's an option. Alright, so we'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and click start here. I've been talking for a long time. Sorry. And our fleet is now being deployed. We're also going to deploy, like I said, submarines. Submarines are going to the east coast of Cyprus. And one thing I wanted to do is I am going to go ahead and expand my military here. I'm going to expand the military budget. I think I'm going to go ahead and appropriate estimates. I'm going to appropriate... Oh man, look at that. What happened there? Hold on, I was going to increase spending on the military, but did we just take a loss? We're still at $15 billion. So I think I'm going to go ahead and appropriate an extra $1 billion a year towards, what was that? Public finance. How did that go down? I don't know. I'm going to appropriate an extra $1 billion a year towards military spending. So let's go ahead and look in the army here. And there's been suggestions on the channel that I increase my size of my army. Currently, if you compare us to Turkey, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to show you that real quick. If you look at the Greek Turkish conflict. Can I click on it? Yes, you can actually click on it. And you can look at the balance of power. Their power is far greater than ours. I don't know what that means. Time in battle, 15 days? I don't know what that means. But here are the numbers right here. So we have 143,000 troops. They have 500,000. They've got more fighters, almost by 100. More missile launchers. We've got more commandos, 572, and I think we're recruiting more as well. They have a lot more tanks than us, but I'm going to go ahead and try to do some arms deals in this episode. I think with they have more drones, a lot more helicopters, more cruisers, and one more submarine. So they definitely outmatch us in the contest. So I'm going to go ahead and make some arms deals in this episode. And we're going to go ahead and meet with the French. And I'm going to push this back to this week. Right there. And we're going to meet with the British. Okay. And let's meet with them on Thursday of that week. There we go. Alright, so we're going to meet with the French and the British next week to secure some arms deals with them. There's only a limited number of countries you can buy arms from in this game. Israel is one of them, but I looked at the prices, and Israel's prices are far more expensive than... I forgot what number we were on there. 427, so we're going to increase that to 3427. 427. Right there, $18 million, $20 million, that's what I had. $20 million, so $100 million, we could dedicate $100 million to additional troops, which would increase our forces to 5,000, which isn't much compared to the Turks, but I want to see, first of all, what exactly is the political impact of increasing our army troops. There was some debate on the channel of whether or not I should increase the soldiers or just buy more weapons. Increasing soldiers does increase costs, increases the fixed costs. Buying stuff is more of a one-time cost. When you buy something, you have to pay back over 3 years, so it will increase the yearly expenses, but only for 3 years when I do these arms purchases. So, and there's usually not a the political backlash from purchasing arms, but there sometimes are big political backlashes from increasing the size of the army. So we're going to go ahead and just do it 1,000 for now, and we'll see what that political backlash is, and then we'll look into how we're going to buy arms. I'm definitely going to buy a number of arms from France and Britain, but I do want to see what the reactions are. And if we look at the economy, we did take a number of steps to, well, I don't know if I wanted to say increase unemployment, but we did. I did reduce, oh man, a lot of stuff happening here. Whoa. Militarism, civil liberties, demonstrations, unemployment. Okay, hold on. See, that's what happens when we try to increase the size of the army. And there is now rioting going on. Alright, so that had a big hit. 2% percentage points hit us. National defense and employment went up, but demonstrations, rioting... this is the Pacifist Union, who does not like us very much because of this. Pacifist Union is very angry with us. 600,000 people in the Pacifist Union. So maybe there's something to be done with him. I'm going to go ahead and try to appear on television, see if I can't do something to subdue those riots. Yikes. And then, what do we got here? Demonstrations. 8,500 by the Pacifist Union. So, rioting and demonstrations. That is crazy. Alright, we'll see what happens there. What happens here? Minister of Health. Our friend is complaining about the Minister of Health. There's the Pacifist Union. Uprising in Athens. And they occupy the square. Alright, so we might be focusing more on buying stuff, buying weapons, than increasing the infantry. The infantry is important. You need that to take over and occupy cities. But on the tactical battlefield, I think you can just use your troops to destroy a lot of the enemy forces, which In a conventional fight, you're going to be probably fighting more on the geopolitical screen than you would on the city screen. So I don't know how many troops I necessarily need, and I might focus more on just increasing my commandos from now on and not increasing the size of my troops, my infantry. So, okay, so let's see here. There's the issue. Let's look at the riot. I'm gonna see if the TV had any type of impact. Okay, Prime Minister.
Your television appearance had an undeniable effect. It provoked the protesters even more.
Ah, no. I've never seen that happen before. That completely backfired on me. Alright, let's bring in police reinforcements. That'll take about a day. Barricades have erected, and let's go into the city and see what's going on. Oh my god, look at this. Alright, so I think the debate, media coverage of power. Media coverage of power, what does that mean? Alright, I think this decides the debate, for one. We're gonna have to wait for police reinforcements, I think. Ah, wow. Retaking the square. Look at this craziness going on here. They really overran those guards, but they did not penetrate into the palace. I gotta slow this down. Sorry. This is kind of crazy. No, maybe I'll speed up. I want to get those reinforcements in here. A lot of them are getting arrested. These guys are doing pretty well. Some of them are starting to take some hits. Let's see if we can't penetrate with this police force. And what type of damage they can do there. There you go. Locking a lot of guys up. Ugh. Those armored cars are completely worthless in these riots. I don't know why. There are a lot of thugs. And it looks like our police have been overrun and knocked out. Okay. Here are the reinforcements, though. Let's get them into the fight. Okay, here we go. We have to rule on the Stability Pact with the EU. Welcome one and all. We are gathered to discuss the Stability Pact and to define acceptable limit for budget deficit. Yeah, this is what I thought stability meant. The deficit is expressed as a percentage of GDP. We want this to be low. We have a budget surplus. I'm going to vote to lower this as far as possible. It was at 3.1. I'm voting to bring it down to 2.5 to create more economic stability in Europe. Pause this. Can't get a good lock on these guys. Here we go. Alright, I need to deploy these police force. Get off that. Sometimes it's just really difficult to manage this stuff. Ah, there it is. No, that says flee. I want these police officers out of the van. There's a way to do that. That is not the way to do it. Ah! This interface is so frustrating sometimes. Okay, they locked him up, I guess. There's gotta be a way to get them out of the van. And there are a lot of police reinforcements. Let's just go ahead and send these guys to go after the rest of them. Where are they? Oh, they went after the TV station like always. You know what? I just might pull out of this and just let them handle that riot. It'll be easier to let the computer do it. Live address by the pacifist group. Oh wow, my popularity has tanked back into the 80s. Summit meeting. After this round of conversations, we have reached a consensus. The maximum budget deficit granted in the framework of the Stability Pact is now officially fixed at 3.18, which I guess only went up a little bit. So it's a good thing we maxed out our vote, I guess. Alright, the Cyprus networks want to eliminate the head of the Cyprus government, and I don't need to do that. A lot of these people there's a lot of push for assassinations within my bureaucracy here, seems like. Within the intelligence community, they want to just assassinate everyone. Alright, reinforcements have been sent. We got that. And this was horrible. Okay. Back in business. Keep things rolling here. Looks like our submarines and our cruisers are in position where we wanted them. And
Here is our growth forecast for the end of the year based on calculations that we made last month. This is a very good figure. Our economy is dynamic.
8.4. Dynamic economy. Good. But pacifists are complaining. What is going on here? Whoa, look at that. That guy has got a AK-47. No, I don't want you to flee. I want you to take the television station, but I'm worried about yeah, there you go. Look at this guy with his AK-47. Where's he going? I'm gonna have to shoot him. He's got a gun. That doesn't look like a pacifist to me. That's an odd looking pacifist. You coming in here? You're gonna get shot. Hopefully. Shoot him. Got him. Alright, my troops have intervened now. Popular uprising. It might be time to use the troops. Let's go ahead and use them. We're going to disperse these crowds with military forces if I can get them to move. There you go. Retake that police station. Or you guys take the police station. Alright, there's some tear gas. Maybe if I can just get him to throw the tear gas. There you go. That gets him out of the car. Alright, now go and arrest him. And you arrest this guy. Arrest him. That's just annoying. Okay. These troops should disperse this crowd and retake the television center. And we have a meeting with Cyprus. Alright. Coffee.
Sure. Dark and strong, please.
Okay. I love your country.
Try that with someone else.
Oh, wow. Bad reaction there. We have a military alliance with Cyprus. Look at that. Huh. A support agreement. Interesting. Now, can we exchange access? Damn. What if I just get maritime access? I can't negotiate this thing. Let's see if we can't bring it up to alliance. Alright, doesn't look like they want to deal, they want to expand our agreement at all. Do I want to buy? Oh, there are certain things I do want to buy actually. I was going to talk about this in another episode, but I'm going to look to expand the shipbuilding industry and try to build up, we talked about an arms industry in previous episodes. And I think I'm going to go ahead and, while I can buy tanks and missile launchers and helicopters pretty cheaply from the weapon suppliers around the world, the warships seem to be the most expensive line item on the military budget. So what I'm going to want to do is to try to develop my own war industry. And if you look at the war industries, if you look at I'm going to try to develop my shipbuilding industry, basically. And if you look at ships like building like cruisers or carriers or submarines, they all require two specific items, and that's electrical components and steel. Those are the two that they require. And currently, we have deficits. Well, electrical components, we're actually almost even, but we kind of have a deficit in steel. So I'm going to try to develop my own. I'm going to try to enhance the steel and electrical component industries in my country. And in order to do that, there are certain secondary sectors we have to fill, which include plastics, electricity, chemicals, copper, gold, rare earth oxides, iron, coal, water, and electricity. Some of these we already have, some of these we don't. Copper, if I can buy copper, no, I can't buy copper. Let's see, chemicals, chemical industry, there we go. They have some chemical, maybe we can buy chemicals from them. It looks like we can get a pretty cheap deal. Let's see if we can get a cheap deal on chemicals from Cyprus to try to improve our relations with them, and maybe then they'll be willing to go ahead and allow us a base. I don't have any means for declaring war on Cyprus right now, so there's no like evidence of any international intrigue that they're guilty of, so let's try to negotiate for better relations with them as of right now, and we'll see if that will help improve the alliance and allow us military access. Alright, trying to get a good deal here. That should work. Nice. Okay, so that should be enough for the chemical industry, which is an area we had a deficit on, and that's needed for the industries that we need to build up our shipping. Our navy industries. Plastics was another one. I don't see plastics there. Rare earth oxides are not there. Gold was one. I don't know if there's gold in Cyprus. No gold. Okay. Alright, I think that's it for now. So we concluded a deal where we're going to be buying chemicals from Cyprus to help support our industries. And now let's end this riot. We're going to disperse this crowd with the military, which will hurt us in popularity, but we're going to have to take steps to increase our popularity, I think. What the heck? Let's just move this car out of here. How about that? Get him out of the way. Looks like they're all stuck. Oh, got him. Good. Alright, now you gotta get this guy right here. And they've dispersed the crowd. Quarterly unemployment has risen to 2%, which is fine because we're going to actually exonerate a bunch of those industries that I had just mentioned to try to increase shipping. And let's go ahead and send these guys there. Alright, did you arrest these guys? So difficult to navigate this. There's another guy right there. Arrest him. Get him. He's running. There's another guy too. Or did he leave? Is that it? Did the uprising end? No. One more guy to arrest. I send some soldiers, you might just scare them away. Whoa! We've got an international event. Belarus declares war on Latvia. Latvia is a NATO country.
Esteemed citizens, our current situation
Wow.
is critical, faced with repeated provocations from this rogue state that is threatening both our country and the international community.
Alright, this has been about 30 minutes. I'm going to end the episode here. And after we finish off these riots, get rid of these riots. These riots are so annoying sometimes. It's always the same type of... There it is. Okay, get out of here. Alright, the riots are over.
We have subdued the rebel movement.
Good. And now Belarus has declared war on Latvia. Do we intervene? That is going to be interesting. Latvia, Lithuania, Belarus. Belarus is allied with the Russians. This is going to be interesting. Alright. Let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you for watching. Please like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And you want to see more. And also share it with your friends. Thanks for your support, and I'll see you in the next episode.